We're back on Freshwaves. I'm your host, Brenda Masson, and we're having a fabulous day in the studio today. We're talking with Laurie Mountford about her facility, which is Country Home Services, even though it's a house in the country that has seniors. So we've had a wonderful discussion about what it is exactly that you do. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the activities that seniors participate in. And you're right. When you go to one of these larger institutions, there's bingo, there's quilting, there's crafts, there's cards, there's all these things. I mean, even going to the 55 plus club here in Stouffville, when I look at the list of the things that they offer when Pat comes in on the show here, I'm amazed at the myriad of activities that are offered, even to the point where someone's gone on a trip somewhere and they all get together with this travel club, not to plan where they're going to travel to next necessarily, but to see where other people have been and look at their slides and their pictures and hear the stories. It's fascinating.
Yeah. There's
a ton of things to do. It's like adult summer camp.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's what it should be, because every day should be a whole new ball game and a whole lot of fun. Now, one of your part-time employees is our technical producer here, Jason Rumble.
Exactly. Yes.
So, Jay, we're going to flip on your mic and invite you into the conversation now. How did you get involved in seniors' activities and things like that?
Well, just after high school, I went to Seneca College, as we're talking about in the first hour, and there's this program called Social Service Worker Gerontology. And when I was finishing off high school, trying to figure out what I wanted to do after high school, the guidance counselor was telling me about, she was saying, you know, Jay, you might want to check out this program. Like, actually, it's kind of funny. Originally, I applied to the Radio and Television Arts program at Seneca, but unfortunately, I didn't get into that one. So I went back to my guidance counselor, and she said, yeah, have you ever thought about working with seniors? And I said no, and she said, I think you'd be really good with seniors, so why don't you apply to Seneca College? They have this program, and the program is mostly women. I think there's just myself and two other men in the program, so it's a program that needed to have more male
and you were happy to comply, because I know you like those kind of ratios, which is why you do this show,
exactly.
Right?
Of
because
course.
of the amount of estrogen in the room at any given time.
Oh, definitely, yeah. So that was a good selling point. It's like, hey, so, sign me up. I'm going to apply to Seneca. So I applied there, and it was a 2-year course. I ended up doing it in 3 years because of some health issues. I was on kidney dialysis and stuff like that, and I ended up getting a kidney from my sister back in January of 2000. So, but while I was on kidney dialysis, I eventually graduated from this Seneca College program in '99, and from there did some volunteer work at seniors' homes. There was a extended care just about a 10-minute walk from my house in Thornhill, so I did some volunteer work there. And there was also a retirement home right beside. I've had my college placement there, and I think it was, and also I've had experience in hospitals as well. So having experience in a nursing home, a retirement home, hospital, like a variety of different settings, and then coming to, country home care and seeing how it's kind of a totally different environment than what I've been used to. I think that's, been a great experience. And with the program that I was at Seneca, some of it was involved working with the social worker, doing one-to-one visits, learning how they do case management, that sort of thing. But another part of the program was activities. So that's where I've had a lot of my experience in the planning activities for seniors and that sort of thing. And so that's what I do at the Country Home Care, just a variety of different activities.
Okay. So what are some of the activities that run at your facility then, Laurie?
Oh, we have a number of activities, and it depending again on the health concerns of the people that we've got and, what they're able to do. Because as I say, we do have people with a little more health concerns than your typical retirement home, usually. So, as Jason knows, bingo is a favorite.
Yeah. Everybody loves bingo, for sure.
Exactly, yes.
That should be a slogan on a T-shirt. Yeah. Everybody loves bingo.
Yeah. Going to work on getting a T-shirt now.
But we've also done a lot of sing-songs and things like that. Right. And, storytelling. And we've got all kinds of other
like memory games, and that's
games,
like
yes.
just to, complete the words, complete the sentence, sort of thing. Or
exactly.
Yeah, so a lot of things that sometimes I go there and there's a larger group of people, and then sometimes there might be one or two people. So it all depends on who is available for activities that kind of accommodate
exactly.
the
And
activity.
sometimes in the better weather, we've been known to if somebody wants to go out for a drive, again, if we can, get people in my vehicle, we go out for a drive, and we've even done lunches out before too. But again, it just depends on, who's able to do it, who wants to do it, that kind of thing.
So an outing like that, would that be an extra cost too?
No, I've never charged for that. And again, that's more the family environment. It's kind of like, who wants to go out to Tim Hortons for coffee and go for a little drive?
And a way you do, but that's what you would do if you were living in your own home.
Absolutely. And that's the feel I like to keep with the house too. Yeah. And that's why we are not as structured as, a lot of the bigger facilities, which, again, when you've got that many employees and that many residents, things need to be much more structured.
Absolutely.
But with, less people and that kind of thing, we can, do things a little more spur of the moment.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So would you have like a Euchre night or something like that? Or
we haven't really done that. We just haven't found the interest. And again, I go back to, depending on
who's there,
the residents at the time, we may get, people in that, love to play bingo, but we might get, some people that are just like, they've never played bingo and it's not their cup of tea or anything like that, but they love to do crosswords or the memory games or do something a little different. And so, we try to gear it to the people that are there at the time. So, we've had, times where we've had great big groups go out for lunches before and that kind of thing. And then there's been times where nobody's really that able to do it. So,
or that interested.
Yeah.
Because I know sometimes you get the seniors who were very active in their earlier life, and this is almost like their rest, and they're happy to just do nothing sometimes.
Yeah.
And I guess you have to respect that.
Exactly. We've got some people who count on their afternoon nap, and other people who just, no, that's not part of their routine that they had or want to have. So,
okay.
Yeah.
And you could get together and do your own thing because you are a small group. It's a lot easier to organize.
Absolutely.
And you can be a little more spontaneous, can't you?
We are very spontaneous sometimes because, again, sometimes we'll go in the living room and, there may be a really fun, good movie on and everything. And next thing you know, the staff are sitting there watching too. And, and we're, everybody's having a good time. And then there might be nothing really of interest on TV. And next thing you know, there's a bingo game crops up, or a card game of some sort that some people want to play. I know that there was a couple of people playing cribbage quite a bit.
Oh, I love cribbage.
Yeah.
Cribbage is one of my favorite games. I used to play with my dad all the time.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a good game. But that's a big game for rules and numbers and adding, and it's not an easy game.
No, it's not. And I must admit, there's a couple of people who are good cribbage players that played quite a bit for a while. They haven't played lately, though, but
it's been a while.
I have to encourge that one for
I can smell an outing for myself.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come over and have a game of cribbage.
There you go.
Now, do you take volunteers?
Would love to have volunteers too. And we've had, some people who've come to do volunteer their time a little bit. We had one gentleman who used to come every once in a while and he played the guitar and sang, which was just wonderful. And then we've actually got, even at the moment, we have personal support worker students who are going through the program, and they have to do so many, I think it's 140 or something community hours before they get their certificate.
Right.
So right now we have 2 personal support students that are wonderful, and it just gives us extra people there to help with socializations and everything and help.
Yeah, it's a nice place to do your community service too, if you're way inclined, I suppose.
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
And actually, we've got a gentleman right now as well doing a social work program, so he's doing volunteering for part of his community hours for that.
Isn't that great?
It is. It's fun, and I must admit that when they come, you can genuinely see that they really enjoy the environment. That it's it's something they hadn't really expected.
That's great. Well, it's time to take a little break. When we come back, we'll be continuing our conversation with Laurie about seniors and having fun at home. At the house. At the house in the country here in Stouffville. You're listening to Fresh Waves on Whistle FM. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Patty Tamlin. Join Edward Nellis and myself for Tuesday mornings on Stouffville Morning. Lively conversation about town, about Stouffville on CIWS 1029. You never know where we're going to go.
Hi folks, Kim Mitchell here. You know, however you choose to get around, your ATV, your snowmobile, your boat, car, if you have a motorcycle, all these things take 100% of your attention and skill to operate safely. Alcohol impairs that, and bad things can happen. So, be smart, okay? You know what I'm going to say next.
This message brought to you from the Safe and Sober Awareness Committee.
Well, here we are back in the studio. We've got Laurie Mountford here. We're talking about country home services. And if you've just tuned in, that doesn't mean a cleaning service in the country. Although, let me tell you, I could use that cleaning service in the country any day of the week at my house. But anyway, that's a discussion for a whole other show. We're talking about seniors, and we're talking about your beautiful house that you have turned into a senior's home.
Yeah.
As well as a home for seniors.
Which is a registered retirement home, but yeah, small scale.
Small scale. It's a really intimate, nice scale. So when you do your activities, you actually have a bona fide backyard, which again is very unusual in most retirement places. I mean, there are some places that have courtyards you can get out into, and in large city environments, even that's not really practical. But because you're in the beautiful countryside of Stouffville, you're just outside of the downtown core, so you're 10th line, but
we're
actually
right around the corner from Main Street, Stouffville, on York Durham.
On York
just
Durham
beyond
30,
10.
right?
Yeah,
perfect. And you have a backyard because you're a house.
We do. We actually are on an acre and a quarter.
Wow.
So
that's
we
a
actually
big backyard.
Yeah. We have a beautiful stream that runs down the back of the property. We also have a pool, which actually I put in when my daughter was at home.
Like a swimming pool.
Stouffville. Yes, it's a
and a pond?
Yes.
Oh,
We
my
have
goodness.
a pond out the front. So in the back, the pool is probably the most underused pool in all of Canada. Even, we still maintain it though, and, grandchildren sometimes get the use of it when they're coming to visit Grandma and Grandpa, which is really nice.
Yeah.
But yeah, we do fun things in the backyard because we've got, by the way, 19 gardens at the house. Not that I maintain them anymore. We have a wonderful gardening service that does that. So nice days in the summer. We do have a beautiful seating area out the back that people can come out and have a nice lunch. We do have barbecues out there as well because
Do you find that people actually take advantage of that, or is it underused?
Oh, they do.
Yeah?
Oh my gosh, yeah. No, going out for the lunches and everything. We, sometimes we just announce lunch is outside today if it's a gorgeous day. And, it's great for people to get out and get some fresh air.
It
and
is.
Yes. And so we're under a pergola, so it's not like they're in the bright sunshine or anything. So we'll go out and we'll have a nice lunch out there. And some people, like to just stay out even for part of the afternoon to just sit and overlooking the pool area is really, it's quite relaxing. Mm-hmm. And the other area we've got at the very front of the house is we have quite a large pond at the front of the house, which has got tons of koi fish and goldfish in it.
Isn't that neat?
All different sizes, yeah. And so actually one of our staff members is great at feeding the fish, and it becomes quite an entertainment that a lot of the residents like to go out when he is feeding them, because it's like watching, good grief, 100 to 150 fish. I mean, it's hard to count fish, really.
Yes.
Yeah, especially when you get that many.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. And, when they all come over to get fed, it's actually quite a sight. And a lot of the koi fish are very colorful, too. So it's a lot of fun.
That sounds like fun.
It is, yeah.
You could actually put that in some bulletin as a feature of the home. Come watch the fish get fed.
Exactly, yeah. It's like Marine Land, sort of.
Yeah.
Mini Marine
Feeding
Land.
time
Yes.
is at 5:30. Come on, one
Exactly.
and all.
Yeah.
Okay, so people have access to the backyard, and can they go out whenever they want to, or?
With supervision. We like to, make sure that, people are safe, and if they want to go for a walk, definitely will take people, around the front. And we have a bit of a long driveway and that kind of thing. So, down the driveway, which sort of is adjacent to the pond. And the pond does have a waterfall too, which is really nice to hear. And we have a bench that's out at the front, right by the pond, and you can be right by the waterfall and that. And so, people can sit out there for a while. It's not like you've got somebody sitting right beside you all the time. But again, if somebody wants to go for a walk or, that kind of thing, we like to think that they've got some supervision with them.
Isn't that nice? It's just nice, when you read something like Your Brain on Nature, and it starts talking about all of the wonderful things that nature contributes to your overall well-being and your health. It makes perfect sense that being in an environment where you can get outside is really beneficial.
Oh, it's huge.
So have you got any plans to maybe have a community garden back there or something?
Well, yes, we do. Actually, I must admit, though, I've scaled back. I had visions of this huge greenhouse out the back and all this kind of thing.
That sounds like a lot of work to me.
And not being much of a gardener myself, it's, hard to envision sort of, and I can't expect the employees to be out there gardening, and the residents are going to have their chores every day. So I've sort of scaled that back a little to raised garden beds that we are planning to do for this summer, which will be great because, it would be nice for the residents to go out and actually hopefully assist in weeding or growing whatever we're growing, and maybe if it's vegetables, being able to reap the benefits and eat them.
And they do say that seniors, especially some people who have had that as a part of their lives all along, they really appreciate that. I know at Parkview they have their outdoor garden plots, and people really plot. There's a word you don't like to use around seniors very often, but it's called a garden plot, and people have their own little space and they can grow whatever they like.
Yes,
and it turns into a really social time together because they're talking about what they do and what they're growing, and would you like a hand with that? If it's a big weeding day or a dump of the soil day, get the new soil out there, and they help each other, and it's a really wonderful environment.
And we have so many gardens as well. So if somebody's out walking around and that kind of thing, there's lots of gardens to actually just even look at. So I anticipate that when we do our raised beds, it might be more vegetables and that kind of thing, because we certainly have lots of flowers and plants and things, but
it's nice to add in the vegetables and herbs, maybe, because herbs are nice and simple to grow.
Absolutely, yeah.
But you can use them even through the winter time.
Absolutely, yeah.
I always get a kick out of opening my parsley, for example, and the dried parsley is all mine from my herb garden.
Exactly,
and it
that's
just
nice.
Warms my heart to say, this is mine. Yeah. And I kind of feel like I'm sprinkling a bit of love into my soups and stews because I grew it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's a nice feeling. I could see how the seniors would really like to get involved in something like that, because there's also the planning aspect of a garden that has to happen at this time of year. You've got to be really thinking about what you're going to be planting, and for some things like garlic, you have to plant it in October the year before in order for it to winter underneath the soil and then be able to be harvested in the spring.
So Brenda, it sounds like you know a lot about gardening, so we'll have to have you over overseeing our garden.
No, I find out my gardening tips from Diane Ward, just saying. And she won't mind me saying that because I phone her, and sometimes I've had her respond to my questions with, I can't believe you don't know that. Okay.
Well, hopefully, and where we're planning to put the raised garden is outside of the dining room windows too, so everybody can, at least even see them as well too. See a little progress from inside too.
Isn't that neat?
Yeah.
Okay, so in the realm of activities, do you ever get like guest speakers in or somebody to talk about something interesting that everybody would like, or it's not something that you've done?
We've had a bit of that over the years and would love more of that, but no, we haven't had too much of that. No.
But would you go on a field trip, say, to go and see a play or go and see a speaker who came into town or something like that?
Well, we've gone to Christmas events at the library and things like that, but and we've actually seen the Santa Claus parade. Some people were, up for that, but we sit in the car and sort of try to get as close as we can. But
well, note to self, we'll work on that for next year and get you guys a special pass that would allow you to have a vehicle near and be warm, or find you a place where your seniors can be warm and sit in a window, like the
that would be fantastic. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. But
There's always a way.
yes, absolutely.
Where there's a will, there's a way.
There is. Just need the ideas. Yeah.
Okay. So, Jason, thanks for your contribution, and thanks for being there for their activities. That sounds like a lot of fun.
No, I really enjoy it.
And I bet you get as much out of it as they do.
Oh, definitely. I mean, it's kind of funny. As soon as I get in the door, there's people saying, "Oh, is Jason here yet? I'm ready to do some bingo." So, so they know that I'm coming at Monday and Thursday at 3:00, so they know to expect me.
Okay, we've got to get that shirt for you.
We do.
Yeah.
For sure.
We've got to get that.
And he's great at it too. The residents really, really like Jason.
Does he call the numbers well? Let's hear.
Under the O69, O69.
There you go. Isn't that good? Oh, Jason the bingo caller. Actually, 069, funny that you mentioned that number because it's one that I needed to get a full card when I was playing up in Fenelon Falls with my aunt Marg. Yes. 069. I'll never forget it. One number away from a full card. I think I would have won $100. It's a big deal to win $100.
It is.
It is.
Especially when it was back when dinosaurs freely roamed the earth and all that kind of fun thing. Anyway, we're going to take a little break. When we come back, we'll get down to the nitty gritty because all good things have a nitty gritty. There are application forms. There are things you must adhere to. There are expenses involved in running a facility like this. And as much as it's really, really beautiful, there's some things to consider. So we'll be talking about that when we get back in just a moment. You're listening to Fresh Waves. Stay tuned.